the US, we often associate fall with pumpkin spice desserts. If you thought pumpkin desserts were unique to the United States though, think again. Today I'm going to be making a Portuguese pumpkin fritter, which is a pumpkin donut spiced with cinnamon and orange and rolled in cinnamon sugar. Let's not hesitate to make these. Let's get started. You're going to be starting these the night before by peeling, de-seeding, and cubing 3 pounds or 1.4 kilos worth of pumpkin. You're going to put that in a big pot covered with water and 2 cinnamon sticks and the peel of 1 lemon. Then you're going to simmer the cubed pumpkin until soft and easily pierced with a fork. Let it drain in a colander overnight, and then the next day pick out the lemon peels and cinnamon sticks. Mash the pumpkin and put it in a kitchen towel and squeeze out the excess liquid. Obviously do this over a bowl and not a plate. I'm just using a plate here so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to do this until you have a thick, dry paste. Several cups of water came out of my pumpkin, and it's surprising how little you end up with in the end. Make sure that it is very dry though. I made this recipe twice, and one time I tried it, I didn't get it quite dry enough, and when I fried the fritters, they did not cook in the center. Then you're going to put the pumpkin in a bowl and break it up with a fork. Next, add in the juice and zest of 1 orange, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of white port, 1 teaspoon of instant yeast, 90 grams or half a cup of sugar, which I accidentally didn't catch on camera for some reason, 4 eggs lightly beaten, and 90 grams or 3/4 of a cup of polenta. Whisk that all together until smooth and then cover and set aside for 45 minutes. While I do this, I'll tell you a little bit about the dessert. Many of us may associate pumpkin with fall, but this fritter is actually enjoyed during Christmas time in Portugal. This particular one that is made with polenta is from the Aveiro District of Portugal, where they are called Bilharacos, and in other regions they're called Sonhas, which means dreams in Portuguese. There's also another variation of these donuts that uses flour instead of polenta, and they're called filhoses de abóbora. When it gets close to the time to fry the fritters, you're going to fill a deep pan with 1 liter of frying oil. I'm using canola oil, but you can use any neutral tasting oil that has a high smoke point, like sunflower oil, soybean oil, peanut oil, etc. Using a thermometer, bring the heat up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius, and set up a baking sheet next to your pot with paper towels to set the fried donuts on. You'll also want to put a small bowl with 100 grams or half a cup of sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon for tossing the hot donuts in. When your oil is up to temperature, take 2 oiled tablespoons and form a rough ball and put it in the oil. When the bottom turns golden brown after 2 to 3 minutes, turn it over and let the other side cook. Then remove it to your paper towel lined baking sheet and toss them in sugar while they're still warm. Enjoy these pretty soon after frying them. Frying things can be tricky. You need to keep an eye on the temperature to make sure it stays right around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius, because if it gets too hot, the fritters will burn, and if it gets too cold, the fritters will become oily.
Tenho esse mar todo pra olhar. Tenho as estrelas infinitas pra contar. Tenho o sol brilhando e os patos nadam em par. Meus passos vão mostrando o prazer de observar.
I'm really excited to try these. So good. Very pumpkin-y, very moist. You can definitely taste the cinnamon and the orange in it. And then the polenta just adds a little bit of extra texture to it. These definitely hit the fall dessert sweet spot. If you enjoyed this video and learned something, hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing. I make recipes every week from a different European country and explore the history and traditions behind each recipe. If you want another fall dessert, check out my apple cinnamon rolls from England or my walnut cake from Croatia. And I'll see you next time.